I think for us, like, crowdfunding really began, like, back in, like, 2011.
We really had, like, no expectations going in, and we weren't even sure if we'd be successful doing a Kickstarter for the first time.
Yeah, the money we actually raised on the Mask of Lies Kickstarter actually ended up only paying for about a quarter or a fifth of what the album cost to make. Fortunately enough, people actually believed in the band back then, like, you know, our personal friends and family, and, you know, it was enough to at least get the ball rolling, whereas I don't think we would have been able to do that on our own at the time. We had to work our asses off to try to promote it and get it out to people, and fortunately people responded to it. But just having the money to really get in there was, you know, enough that, like, once it was started, we weren't gonna just jump ship. The album took longer to make than we wanted it to, but, you know, we had to actually wait till we could afford to keep making it. So, you know, making the album took like almost 2 years instead of 6 months or whatever we originally hoped it would. When it came time to actually crowdfund the next album, Back from the Edge, fortunately we had like a staggering response. Honestly, we were totally unprepared for the kind of response we got from people, the amount of money that was contributed.
We were able to sign with Inner Wound Recordings to release the album. That really helped further our success even more and get our music out to a wider audience, even beyond what we'd already accomplished on our own.
And the other thing that's been really great about our relationship with Inner Wound is that they've always allowed us to maintain the relationship we have with our fans and have developed through crowdfunding. And they let us do that while still actually working with them, which not every label will do.
We started getting offers to play more shows that were even further out of our area, like we played up in New England and we went down to Florida.
It's amazing how many of the people that were at those shows a few years ago have stuck with us since, and we really forged a lot of the relationships that have, you know, really been like the backbone of who we are ever since. In the summer of 2015, we released the Dreamwalk EP, which actually started out as a crowdfunding idea we had the previous summer. And the EP featured kind of like a combination of content, covered Pat Benatar's Promises in the Dark based on fans voting on it, which was really cool.
And I think that's a really important part of this, is to make sure that fans get a say. Voting on cover songs is a great way to do that. In the fall of 2015, we got to go on tour with Saxon and Armored Saint.
That wouldn't have been possible without the use of Kickstarter and the people that funded this endeavor of ours.
It takes a lot of money to get a band off the ground in terms of touring, and it's probably actually more expensive with less of a concrete reward than making albums.
For as difficult as the expense portion of this is, and it was definitely a lot of fun, and it was very important for us for gaining even more
It was
fans.
probably the single biggest moment we had in terms of expanding our fan base.
At that point, Jeff and I had started to pool together ideas for what would become the album Resolve.
You know, basically we started pre-production around the end of the year and ran the Kickstarter that funded that album. We were in awe of how much money that one raised. I know that one was truly staggering. It was more than double the amount that we'd ever raised on anything prior, and I think a real eye-opener about how far we'd actually come at that point. Making Resolve was not easy, and it was not short, and it was not cheap, and it went massively over budget, and
It took way longer than we expected.
It was trying for everyone involved.
but the one thing that I think powered everybody through all of it was just knowing how many people had contributed to that campaign, you know, who were investing not just their money, but like sort of just their collective hopes and dreams in us as a band and just sort of the music that we were going to create.
Cheesy as it sounds, to go through something so trying, but to have the knowledge in the back of your head that so many people truly believe in what you're doing, what you're setting out to accomplish, really just gives you the strength to push through whatever bullshit you might be dealing with.
Really made it feel like something special and like something we hadn't been through.
And one of the stretch goals for the campaign that funded Resolve was a promise that we would get out to the West Coast sometime in the following year, which we were able to fulfill with the tour that we had subsequently embarked on with Arcona and Serenia.
a really great experience, and we got to play in front of a lot of people who had been waiting to see us for a long time, and we hadn't been there yet.
They're singing along and to everything at the show, and it just couldn't have been like a more amazing experience.
Everything that represented was incredibly overwhelming.
The other thing that was really cool about the tour was that it was our first time ever playing live with a keyboard player, Jonah from MindMaze, who volunteered his services to us. MindMaze are our label mates on Inner Wound and foolishly acted like we needed to think about it, despite the fact that I think everybody ended up feeling like it was definitely for the best, and sound-wise we were the best we've ever been, and the stage energy was the best it's ever been, and Jonah's awesome girlfriend Mallory came along, sold their merch, and took a lot of pictures, and it was honestly just really fantastic experience getting to play all these new places and see all these people and make even more new fans, and it's just always great to have new people along for the journey and whatever chapter is next.
And here we are once again asking you, our fans, to help us out with our newest projects.
What we've cooked up here is another EP, kind of similar to what we did with the Dreamwalker EP, but this one will be more geared towards new music.
And it's going to be a different experience for everyone because you're going to get to hear more new music as it's being created.
This EP is definitely going to be sort of like an appetizer for where we're going to go from here. We've never really been interested in making the same album twice. We always feel like we got to do something a little differently, and hopefully everybody enjoys it.
Because again, as we've stated previously throughout all of our projects, your input into what we're doing is totally invaluable. It means everything to us.
The support of everyone who contributes to these projects, and I don't want to say that there would never have been an album, but maybe that would be it, an album, not multiple albums and tours and videos and all the other things we've been able to create. And there isn't a day that goes by where we're not thankful for that support that's been there and continues, and we hope it continues for a while, and as long as it keeps coming our way, we'll do our best to keep repaying it.
So once again, thank you guys so much for all your support thus far. We really wouldn't be here without you, and we love you so much.